would like to talk to you about more than we did, so it's fine.
Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, it says we're live now on YouTube and Twitch.
Live stream time.
Live stream time. Okay, I got that ready.
Johnny Casino.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Sure.
So it's Wednesday morning, and you might be wondering, why did Monday's show not have an intro? Because I forgot, obviously. You might also be wondering. Yeah, you didn't realize that the Monday show had
No, I did not. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Monday show had no intro. But you also might be wondering, did they play any old games? Did they binge any shows? How does Johnny feel after Monday's episode? Well, let's find out.
So, as everybody's aware that Jeff and I are the funniest podcasters on the face of the planet. Not really. Yep. That never happened. John, don't cut that out.
It's Forget Being Cool, episode 49 for September. My watch is telling me about Twitter notifications. I'm Dave Moore. That's Johnny Casino.
Oh.
How's it going, John?
It's going great. Okay, so as we do this show, people pop in, watch us live. We're getting more and more people seem to be doing it randomly.
We love that. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, most of the time in the morning at 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time.
So
8:30 a.m.
So sometimes what they say like catches me off guard. Sometimes I have to repeat what they write in here. So today Andy's in here. Oh. And Tim. So Andy puts in there, I'm live streaming right now too, into the toilet. To which Greenie, who just popped in, said, hey, me too, I'm on the toilet. So apparently we are what you want to watch while you're going to the bathroom.
I mean, we are the side boob of podcasting. These things are starting to fit together. The meld is filling itself, John.
Yes. Okay, Dave.
We are mourning piss material / the side boob of podcasting.
Yes, we are what floats in your toilet. No, that's not good.
No. Let's stay in liquid form, John.
Oh, after the wrong meal.
As long as it's coming out of the right place, I think it's okay.
Andy says he can't pee unless he sees our smiling faces. That's about the creepiest thing anyone's ever told me ever. So, I want to say something.
It makes me rethink this whole video thing.
Yeah, I know. Or just we shouldn't smile and he'll just be standing there forever.
I'd be a little bit concerned about his bladder. I had to stand at 7-Eleven for 21 hours straight without a bathroom break, so that's the thing.
Well, I mean, you got your pants.
Thanks, 7-Eleven.
There's lots of bottles in that place that you could have emptied and refilled. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's also the coffee pots. Those were always an opportunity as well.
Oh, I'm glad I don't buy coffee from places like that. Oh, it probably happens.
Also, that never happened.
Ever. You want to hear before I go?
Although, I'm sure it has happened in a store.
You want to?
I never used the blueberry coffee as a place. How are you, John?
Okay.
Are you okay?
No, I need to say something, but you brought up a topic that I have to tell a story for. So back
people
when
pissing in the fryers at KFC, because they do that. That's a normal thing. That seems like that happens at most KFCs. Are you okay, John?
Let's displace ourselves from things I might end up going to at some point in my life. Now, granted, I don't go to 7-Eleven or KFC. Not that I don't like KFC, I just don't ever go there. But when I was in the Navy, so part of my job was to stand watch. Like I would have an area of an engine room of a submarine. You walk around, you switch around equipment. If something goes wrong, you take care of that equipment. You take logs on different readings for all the equipment, right? This was a good chunk of my job when we were out to sea.
Yes, John.
Here's the problem is there's not bathrooms in these different areas of the engine room, right? Now there's funnels that go to like drainage things that get pumped overboard that people use. Sometimes there is a urinal somewhere in the engine room if you can get to it. But for the most part, if you need to go to the bathroom, you have to have someone come down, take your spot temporarily for you to go to the bathroom and come back. Not always the easiest thing to do. So one day we're in port. I think we're in port. and we were cleaning. And so we have all these big wet vacs that we use, and we're, sucking water up out of the bilge and pumping it out the boat, and, just doing this massive cleaning. And we find this vacuum that's tucked way back in this little area that people don't really walk too much. And we need an extra vacuum. We're like, let's go get that one. So we crank it up and turn it on, and it's fine for a few minutes, and it starts heating up, and then it just starts smelling like you wouldn't believe. It turns out, and I think we figured out who did this, but it turns out that this person didn't feel like calling for relief or couldn't or whatever, and just opened the wet vac and took a giant dump in it, and then closed it back up and left it there, and it had probably been sitting there for 6 months.
Oh, that might be the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it was. No, well.
Also, you warmed it up.
I could tell you worse.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm so glad I never went out to be on a submarine.
Oh, it's had its perks. Don't get me wrong.
I believe. I believe it. Oh, I believe it.
So okay.
No.
So, on Monday's show,
yes, John,
I might have gone on a little bit of a rant. Now,
maybe just
I don't want to apologize for the rant itself. I think that was an important thing in my mind to say that, hey, look, if you're going to put something out to the world, ask yourself, is it positive or is it constructive? And if it's neither, maybe don't do it. Maybe just don't do it. Right? Maybe not. I mean, granted.
That's what all our iTunes reviews should be. Over on the iTunes store for Forget Being Cool. Make sure they're 5 stars or constructive.
Anyway,
but still
5 stars or constructive. It's 1 star, but here's why you suck.
just click the 5-star button anyway, and then write a constructive comment.
Okay. But at the end of the rant, when I kind of told the whole world to go F itself, maybe I shouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah, and maybe.
I had a nice...
Just a possibility, John. You may have thrown equal amount of hate back into the world.
I wasn't as much hate as it was frustration, but yes. Like, I know it probably came across more attacking than it was supposed to be. Right? And I apologize for that, especially if anyone specifically felt attacked. I apologize for that. I had a nice little talk with Adam Leonard. I had him message me after he heard the rant to give me his impressions of how bad I messed up on that. So he and I had a nice little talk, and then we went to, other random topics of video games like we always do when he and I are talking. I mean, not to brag, not to brag, guys, but, so there's that. Dave.
Yes, John.
Last night, I beat. Okay, so let me start with this. Last night, I'm putting my kids to bed at like 8:25, 8:30. I'm hanging out with them. We played a little Mario Kart because I wanted to play Mario Kart. And I'm like, all right, go give mama hugs and kisses. And they walked in the bedroom, and they both came back out, and they're like, she's asleep. I'm like, oh, it's not even 8:30 yet. My wife is passed out. Okay, well, I guess it's a video game night. So I put the kids to bed, and I went downstairs. I turned off all the lights. I made sure all the doors were shut and everything like that. And I put on Resident Evil 7. And by the way, that is the way to play that game, right? And I hadn't really been able to play it that way because when I play during the day, I mean, my living room is lit up just because of all the windows and everything. So I'm playing it that way. I took the...
I would play the way that you play during the day. I never want to play this game at night.
No, I understand.
Even if I lock it down and say I'm going to buy a PlayStation VR, I'm going to play it in VR, right? Which probably not good for my stability and my health. But
no. I mean, it would be the last thing you ever did.
But I need to be able to rip the VR headset off and be in daylight. Otherwise, like, I might take the VR headset off, be in like my house that is falling apart because it's an old house, right? So it's kind of scary in its own. There's still a hole in the ceiling. Just to confirm, the hole was still in the ceiling from the day that you and I met.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't do that and I were to like take off the VR headset and be like in the dark, I think that might kill me. Like that might be the line that gets crossed and me be done. Done for.
Okay, but I did this, right? This is how I wanted to experience.
I'm proud of you, John.
And so I start playing. I knew I was getting kind of close to the end. So I'm playing for a while, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop. I need to play something else for a little while and go to bed. But then I'd be like, oh, I just want to see what happens after the save point. And I'd keep going, and I hit another save point. I'm like, all right, I need to save it. I need to stop. I need to play something else for a few minutes. And I need to go to bed. Oh, by the way, Andy says your hole is glorious. And so this kept happening until I got to the end of the game and I beat the game. And by the way, like the very beginning of the game is probably the scariest, probably the most jump scares. You have the least amount of weapons, if any at all. You don't know anything about the area, so it's the scariest. Towards the end of the game, you actually get a couple of like more hardcore weapons. Even though your ammo is very limited, it's not as scary, right? But the last scene before the final boss, like basically traversing to the final boss. Oh
Spoilers.
My God, is it just eerie? Like eerie. So as I'm beating this and I get to the final boss, I'm watching the final cutscene. I get a message from Andy saying he's about to jump in on Splatoon. So I jump in Splatoon, I look in there, the friend's saying Sean's playing. So I message Sean. So Sean and David Ray hop in. So Sean, David Ray, Andy, and myself, all in the Discord, right? The Super Indie whatever Discord, all playing Splatoon together. Ryan Black, is that his last name from Nintendo Nostalgia?
Yes.
Yeah, he hops in and plays with us. Eric Plunk hops in and plays with us. I mean, they weren't in the chat, but they all hopped in and play. And we played that for about an hour. So I ended up staying up like way past my bedtime last night. But it was awesome.
That sounds awesome.
It was good times. You too could have joined, just saying.
Could have, but I didn't know.
I mean, I stopped offering. Like, I stopped putting it out.
You're welcome, John.
Yeah, thanks.
I was busy anyway. It's fine.
Okay, we're just gonna slide past that one.
Oh, okay.
I think I found a solution.
I had to record a podcast actually.
Last night?
Yeah, last night.
What'd you record?
I went on Old School Lane's Casual Chats, which is like a cartoon YouTube channel that talks about cartoons. Jeff and I went on to talk about Cartoon Network's 25th anniversary, which is this Sunday. Talking about like our favorite Cartoon Network shows. It was a good show. I kind of derailed it because that's what I do on shows, even though it wasn't my show to derail.
Yeah, I think I actually remember the girl that does that. I think I remember hearing her on your show before.
Patricia Miranda came on our show about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so speaking of this, let me plug a couple shows. Let me plug a couple shows real quick.
Oh, we're gonna plug shows.
So other people.
You were in our conversation about plugging shows, were you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll talk about it off the air.
Okay, but these are not my own shows. These are not my own shows.
Don't let me forget.
Okay, so first of all, if you don't listen to Character Crunch, right? Dave's other show with his BFF and cuddle buddy.
Couch, I call him my couch buddy because I locked him in a couch.
Yeah. So let me tell you, like me and this guy are in a feud, right? Jeff and I are in a feud, and you want to know why? This why? Right here is why.
Suck it, John. Suck it, Johnny. I'm the better friend. You're second rate.
So it's on, Jeff. Now, here's the thing: is that these guys have decided they're going to revamp their show to where they are watching TV shows and talk about. But what's really cool, and I'm putting this out there for the listeners that don't listen to Character Crunch as well. Now might be the time to jump in. They're going to be watching like 3 different shows. Just pick one of them. Pick one of them that you haven't seen, watch it, and then listen to their show. Yeah. Here's the other thing. I want to put. I finally started watching something, and I watched a couple episodes of this. And it's a YouTube show that's going to be coming back from community friends. So the guys that do Fluxapose, which is Jason Lacey and Lucas. I can't think of Lucas's last name.
I only know him as Lucas.
Yeah. Heavy Metal Rift, I believe, is his deal on Twitter. But they do a show called Battle of the Beer. And
I've listened to Battle of the Beer.
Well, so they're bringing it back, and I decided I'd watch a couple of them on YouTube. If you like, I don't say high-end beer because that sounds kind of snooty, but if you like, Lucas Rose, thank you, Sean. If you like craft beer, give this a watch because they talk about what they like it, and it's hard to talk about craft beer like without sounding snooty, but they don't go too snooty, right? They they don't like go, a little monocle on and whatever, right?
This is the best plug for a Friends show ever. You guys are snooty, just not too snooty.
Well, here's the thing: is when you're talking about craft beer and the flavors and stuff like that, you can't not sound like an ass, right? Like it's not possible.
Yeah,
it's
not.
It's just to what extent do you sound like an ass, right?
Right, and I also know nothing about beer or craft beer or wine. Or alcohol. So never will I do a show about this because I'd be like, yep, I don't know how to describe that.
But here's what blew me away when you watch it. Like, this is some high quality recording stuff. Like, they have 2 cameras. And apparently, and I asked them about this after I watched it, they actually have a couple guys like manning the cameras as they're doing the show. It's only like 4 or 5 minute episodes.
John, you do realize that we had 2 cameras.
Yeah, but we don't have cameramen where we're sitting next to each other and they can get different angles. Like,
I mean, you used to be my cam man. I don't know when that changed.
Yeah, I don't know either. Anyway, so if you are into beer, go check out Battle of the Beer. I was quite impressed.
Oh, well, cool. I've seen it. It's cool. It's impressive what they do, and I would love to do something like it. But
man, you're not kidding. Like, I want this show and Generational Gamers and all this stuff to be like on a couch. Right?
Someday. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/dayspace.
Hey,
where we could get a studio, John, and multiple cameras and a TriCaster. And I mean, I'm qualified and trained in all these things. It's a matter of budget.
So, speaking of shows that we both listen to, though, so you still listen to Jordan Jesse Go, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind though.
Okay.
Because of the new podcast app. Can I complain about the new podcast app?
Oh, by all means.
God, Apple, please just put the list of my unlistened to podcasts back on the front. Please just give me the whole.
Is that the thing? Like they don't.
Yeah, they don't do it. It's like they give me like the most recent 4 or 5. Here, I'm gonna look at it right now. Apple, please, God, please fix this. Like there's things I love about this. There are lots of things to love, right?
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks like the music app. But so it gives me the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 most recent unlistened to podcasts. Most recent. Let's make that clear. Gives me 7.
Okay, so
But I have 30 more listed here that are not listened to. 30 episodes.
Is there like a setting you can change for that?
Nope. I had to click on the third. I had to scroll all the way down, then click on 30 more, and then it'll add a couple more, and then it'll add the list. It's bad. And then there's this bottom thing at the bottom that annoys me that says recently played. Like, why would I want my recently played? Like, if I'm already done with it.
Well, so the way the old one, the way the old one worked, right, is if you went to your playlist, right?
Yeah.
It would show you above it have the one you're listening to now, what's following it, and if you scrolled up, it would just give you the list of everything you played in order.
Yeah, but
which is worthless.
Yeah, but it also used to just continue playing too.
Yes. Well, no, you can do that on this. You can tell it to play next.
Yeah, but you have to go into the thing and add a play next. It used to, if you would start at the top, like on Monday when all the great shows come out, including ours. Hi Monday. You could listen to the top and just let it play down the list.
Oh, so it would just automatically play the next thing.
And it would, and Mondays I just would get these things out because it's when I had time and I would get through 12 podcasts in that day because I just can just keep listening. But now I have to stop and go to my phone and look at it, and now I'm doing something else, and then I just go, screw it, I'll just shuffle my music. I've been listening to more music lately because the podcast app is not as nice as it used to be. Well, sorry, podcasts.
I've had to actually cut out podcasts because I want to add more music back into my life. Like I used to listen to music nonstop, and I got hooked on podcasts, and I don't listen to music all that often. So I'm having to do that. No, so Andy, Andy is praying right now in our chat, and he has one request of God. Of all the things in the world that God could fix, he's got one request, and that is to fix the podcast layout on iTunes.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Screw world hunger.
By the way, when you search the store, can we complain about the store?
Sure, man.
If you search Dayspace, you used to get like almost all our shows, the whole network. Now you get like the 3, and then you get a bunch of like random episodes that also have Dayspace somewhere in the tags or the titles or the notes or whatever.
Oh yeah?
It's all messed up, and it's not our fault, and we can't do much about it.
Oh, interesting.
So you have to click see all, and then you can actually look at the list of Dayspace shows. But like if you search Dayspace in the store, it's going to show you like Geekcast, which nobody does anymore. Hi, Bobby.
Yeah, that show that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, so it shows you like that, living room clutter, and something else, and it's like that's not what we would like.
No,
but we can't do anything about it.
Oh man, see, it's the thing with technology, right? Like I said, the newest update, it looks gorgeous, and it's weird because certain apps will almost overlay whatever's behind it, so you can kind of see what's back there, and it kind of looks kind of cool. Like even
I think it looks great. I think all of it looks good.
Yeah,
the control center, which I looked at before and was like, that's freaking hideous. It's freaking disgusting. I love it.
Yeah, no, the control center works well. And I even like that on the cover page, you can get through more of like the notifications that just kind of pop up on your phone. Right. You can see more of them and clear more of them and stuff like that. Like I like all that stuff. But yeah, like the Twitter app, which I know is a different issue, but the latest Twitter app is still making me mad because I'm just missing things. And maybe it's not important. Like maybe it's better for my life that I don't see everything in the whole world.
Yeah, but it also used to be easier to manage multiple Twitter accounts. And so at this point, because of the way the new Twitter app is, I've almost just decided that there are no Twitter accounts for new shows. Like I'm not gonna manage it. Like you follow my Twitter and I'll use my Twitter, but I'm not gonna manage like the Living Room Clutter Twitter anymore and the Character Crunch Twitter and I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, well, and we don't really use this one ever.
No, we just have it so we have control.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, complaint.
So it's Wednesday, so we hopefully have more to talk about in the second half of the show. So you want to go ahead and get to music?
I thought you had something else to talk about. I mean, we talked about poo vacuums.
Yeah, well, no, I was going to talk about Jordan Jesse Go and how I finally saw the way their setup was. So here's the deal. If anyone out there needs a just comedy-esque podcast to listen to, I love Jordan Jesse Go. I've been listening about a year and a half or so, something like that. And it's just, yeah, it's two guys. So it's Jordan Morris, who's a stand-up comedian. He's a writer on At Midnight before that went off the air. Really funny guy. And then you got Jesse Thorne, who's hilarious, and he does a show called Bullseye on NPR where he interviews famous people. I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Bullseye's great. It's great.
Is it? For the people listening right now, you just caught Robot Dave. And you're still catching Robot Dave. Hold on. Let's see if Dave comes back better. Anyways, while we're waiting for Dave to come back better. So Jordan Jesse Go, right? So Jesse Thorne is like the person who runs the Maximum Fun podcast network. And so the two of them, they hang out and they talk. They always have a guest, and they're just really funny. Here's the thing. I always picture them being at a table, right? Like sitting at a table and the guests and have the microphones and whatever else. I finally saw a picture, and a couple things disturbed me about this. One is it's three of them in a room on like high stools without backs on them. And, you know, the mic booms in front of their face, which makes sense. The second is I finally saw what Jesse Thorne looks like. And I had seen his face before, but homeboy wears capris. Like straight up wears capris. And as we all know, oh man, hold on a second.
Capris are not for dudes.
That's right. Capris are not for dudes. But he wears them in this weird, like, hipster kind of way. But anyway, if you get past that, the show itself is hilarious. And if you're just looking for something to listen to once a week that's really funny and isn't topical. Oh, wait. We have a returning person here.
Hi, John.
Hi, Dave. You're back.
I figured you would just go into the music.
No. I didn't want you calling to like get in the way of the music. So I just kept telling about Jordan Jesse Go and about how they sit on these high stools and
it's good posture. It's about fluctuating your voice. Like if you were fluxopposed, it's fluxopposing, John.
Yeah, but more importantly, Jesse Thorne wears capris.
No way.
Yeah, and then I played the thing. Anyways, let's play some music. Now that Dave is actually back here.
Back in my day, we listened to things like NSYNC were the boy bands and Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
I'm going to have to start referencing more music so you have more clips.
I'll just keep using that one. So today's music. Now I have to apologize again. On Monday, I thought I recognized the song that I played.
I thought I recognized it too. I wasn't going to call you out.
So here's what happens is what I do is every few weeks I sit down, I get on my spreadsheet, I throw down the bands in the order in which I want to play them, which by the way is way more difficult than you can imagine trying to like not play them too often. I need to get more bands on board.
I said you're a video game related or just a listener with a music and a band. Send us some messages to john@datespace.com.
Yeah.
John at datespace.
Yeah, or hit me up at Johnny_Casino on Twitter.
Right.
You can DM me. So, but anyway, so I and now what I do is I'll find a previous episode of that band. I will duplicate that episode so that all the information is already on there, right? Well, I did that, and apparently I had not updated all this stuff on it, so it was still set up for the old song. So the song I meant to play, I will play on Monday's show, and I have the next couple weeks set up for realsies. And so today, though, we are back to Chris Baines. Chris Baines, one of the first, musicians I ever played on this show. He's the one that does the music for Generational Gamers. By does the music, I mean he allowed me to use it, not he wrote it for that show. This is from his latest album, Tufu Maku Toro, which, by the way, the picture's kind of cool. The song is The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. And as always, go to forgetbeingcool.com. This is episode 50. Episode 50.
It is?
This is episode 50, forgetbeingcool.com. Scroll down, click on any of the buttons. It will take you to this music where you can buy his stuff or just give him high fives. I don't know how you do that. But anyways, here we go. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past.
on.
Dude, the ending riff to that song, like,
Yeah.
almost gave me chills.
Yep. So confirmation from PayPal from Monday, John. Money will transfer by the 1st. Thanks, PayPal.
Huh. Guess I can change that address back to myself then, huh?
Yeah, sure can. I guess
Yeah,
I'm going out. I'm guessing going out on Friday. Just kidding.
I will.
Son of a.
I will let you know as soon as it ships.
I don't understand why PayPal needed more confirmation information from me. I have no idea. And hey, Google, please don't send my paycheck to the wrong account. I'm working on it. Anyway. Hi.
I'm
Google.
so confused. As soon as I see it ship out, I will let you know. Because I don't know if it'll ship out right away, just because of, I don't know, just because of whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
I am getting an egg cooker in the mail today by 8 p.m. Yeah,
you bought an egg cooker.
No, don't say you. My wife. My wife bought an egg cooker. So I guess you put like 4 or 5 eggs in it, and it like hard boils them with air. I don't know.
Who cares?
I mean, my wife does.
Obviously, John.
I'm trying to look on here, see if it says anything. It says not yet shipped. That's all it says. But I did verify that this thing is going to you.
Sweet.
So that's all. That's all that I guess will matter. I can't guarantee you when it's going to get.
Well, as long as you get yours as well.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like
Nintendo should make plenty Super Nintendo Mini Classic Editions.
Yeah. So I got two video game things that I needed to mention before we get into our Sheldon Forgotten stuff, which I don't have. While I'm talking about this, maybe I'll try to pull up a sound clip that I can use. This should be interesting. What was I going to tell you? Oh yeah. First of all, Cave Story. No, Golf Story.
Okay.
The other story is coming out tomorrow. $15.
Wow.
So it is out tomorrow. $15. I will. Tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day for me. Like I have to make beer tomorrow because if I don't, then I won't have a chance to do it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I work tomorrow night, so normally I would do that in the morning and then take a nap and then get up and go to work. But my daughter has a doctor's appointment that I also have to go pick her up for, like in the middle of when I would be napping. So I probably just won't sleep tomorrow. But
What's sleeping for? Sleeping's for chumps.
Well, I just gotta make sure I take my motorcycle to work so that I don't sleep on the drive back. In the morning before our show. If you want there to be a show on Friday, I need to not crash and die.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it is. So my goal is though to download it as soon as it's available, and then find a moment when I have a break in things and stream about 15 to 30 minutes at the very, very beginning of the show, of the game. So
okay.
I plan to stream that tomorrow, and the video will be up on Dayspace and all the other good stuff. So people can take a look and see if it's something that they think they want. I'm just going to basically like start streaming and then click on the icon and see what happens.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. The other thing. What was the other thing? No.
Here's something about this, guys. is you think that John would benefit from writing it down,
but that's not true at all.
But as we've learned, if he writes things down, we just forget stuff, and then he teases things he's not actually going to talk about.
He's asking if we play Death Squared, thinking about picking up on a discount tomorrow. I too am thinking about grabbing that on a discount tomorrow. Death Squared is going to be on sale tomorrow. It looks pretty fun. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So we'll see what the discount is.
I've heard the same. Yeah.
So maybe I'll grab that tomorrow as well. Here's the thing. I pre-ordered another indie game that's having a physical copy coming to the Switch. And I did so after talking to the Nintendo guru himself, Mr. Bobby Pauls. So it'll do too.
I ordered Mario Odyssey.
But didn't you?
You think I already ordered it, but I guess I didn't. Better, I'm getting 2 copies. I'll find out.
Yeah. No, I had to change mine. Because I originally ordered it through Amazon. I switched it over to GameStop. And then I switched it over to, not GameStop, to Best Buy. And then I switched it from pickup to delivery because I'm working nights and I don't want to drive out there that day.
It's fine. If we don't start Mario the minute it comes out, it'll be okay. It's
Oh,
not like
no.
It's not like Splatoon, where it relies on us sitting down at a specific time to play like the night it comes out. Like if Mario, like if I get it the next day, like that's pretty much when I'm gonna get to sit down really and play it anyway.
Yeah, no, Mario is going to be one of those games that I like stretch out over a year, which I thought I was going to do with Zelda, but I powered through that in 3 weeks.
I think I'll play Mario longer than I played Zelda.
That's so disappointing. I mean, that's great, but like you and Zelda, and not knocking you, like I'm not. It disappoints me that you did not enjoy it enough to put more time into it.
To continue, yeah. I agree.
I
liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it a lot.
Oh, Sean,
don't set John off. I'm sick of this. Sean, you and I are about to fight.
Someone timestamp that.
It's my job.
Okay.
My job to take John off. It's my job.
So anyways, yeah, I think Mario Odyssey is gonna be one of those games that I just kind of play when I need something to hop in and play for a little while. Because I think you can do that with that game. Like there's not a specific story to go through and stuff. And I mean, I have so much other stuff to play as where when Zelda came out, I didn't have as much.
It looks like here's a world, explore, collect moons, move on, get the next world, collect more moons. Like that's what it looks like it is, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. So, but what I pre-ordered is and I don't know why I pre-ordered, but I got $24, so it's not bad. But the physical copy of It'll Do 2, which I've been thinking about for a while. Get it at a discount when you buy it early. And I talked to Bobby Pauls, and he says it's definitely worth it. So for that price, I was willing to give it a try.
Wait,
so I'm excited.
Hold on. Bobby Big Bucks' opinion of what you should buy should never, ever.
Bobby Big Bucks
should ever be like, no, it's totally worth it. His perception of totally worth it is not the same.
Yeah, but he also he didn't just say totally worth it. Like he gave follow-up to it. Like here's kind of how the game is. Here's this about it, right?
All right, Bobby Big Bucks.
Whenever you contact him personally, as someone like me is able to do,
I probably talk to Bobby more than you do.
Shut up, Dave. I'm having a moment here. But it's different than when he's on the show, right?
Meant to brag.
Yeah, meant to brag. All right, Dave, let's move on with this. Anyways, It'll Do 2. I'm excited to play it when it comes here. I'll kind of
physically, which means you'll put it in twice and then you'll take it out to put in Mario and then you'll never play it ever again because you'll never want to go get the cartridge.
Here's the thing, though. It's one of those games where, like, I don't need to play that right away, right? I can just kind of play it whenever. I
want that one on like impulse trigger, like the way Infinite Mini Golf is, or Sonic Mania, or whatever. I want it there and ready to go. I don't want to think about that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I like having the physical. Plus, the physical comes with like a map and some other really cool stuff inside. So
I like that stuff. I like physical, John.
Yeah, you do.
I like it. I
physical.
I like it. And you're ruining your opportunity for a sound clip that I will not say now. Thanks, John.
I have so many sound clips of you, Dave.
I know.
And more that you haven't even heard yet. Of which I have a new ending to the show now.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. Here, let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready. Are we ready? You said I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, I'm ready now for realsies.
Okay.
Shelves are full, and what's on them often forgotten. Sad games and some other media silently cry out to be played again and given the attention that they deserve. This is why John and Dave get together each week. They force each other to take one of these sad games off the shelf, dust it off, and give it some love. Their discussions of games and other game-related topics will surely go off the deep end, but they always pay homage to those that are shelved and forgotten.
Welcome to the last episode of Shelved and Forgotten. My name.
is
So-
Dave Moore. That's Johnny Casino.
Until I get a better sound clip that I can use or some raw material I can make one out of, that's what we're stuck with. Dave,
Yes, John.
you want to talk about your game first, man?
Oh, can I cheat?
I mean,
I got to play a game that has been relevant since it came out, and we
Okay.
kind of talked about it.
but well, see, here's
Already.
the thing. Here's the thing. As we change the show, I think it allows us to play stuff that's maybe newer than our original intentions for Shelved and Forgotten were. Like,
Right.
like at some point, I will play this gen game where the new version happens to be out or something like that, right?
Well, this one we got to play because it was a free weekend. Can we talk about Overwatch a little bit more than we did?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna talk. I think we're gonna record Journalistic Gamers today. I think Ben and I will probably spend a few minutes on that as well.
So
but
here's some realizations about Overwatch after playing it.
Okay.
Okay, one, it's got that one more game factor.
It definitely
Right.
does.
Until we start losing a bunch and I keep dying and I give up.
Well, what you meant to say is until I come in and then you're like, well, I can't play with that guy, and then you bounce.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Okay.
it was. I didn't want to play with you.
Okay.
That's why I left.
We're-
Sean and I won every match before you got there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I am too. Because I think we lost almost every match with you.
I hate you a little more every day.
Anyway, it was because there were three. Oh, Sean's good. Sean's a decent player. I'm not, right? But now we were adding to our team. We were adding one other person who's also not that good, meaning you, right? So we were losing one good player by adding you, John. That's what was happening.
Hey, I can sometimes kill people. I got played the game
Yeah, I
once.
Yeah,
That was after you left, I think.
No, it's got that one more game factor. It's got that I would like to play that more, the same way that ARMS and Splatoon do after their test fires.
Okay.
Right. For the free weekend, which is making me want it because I would like to dabble with it more, but I also just don't want to pay $60 for it.
Well, okay, so
Especially because it's old.
first of all, you can get it for 40 right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
can probably find it for 40.
But because it's old, and the issue is how many people do I know that will be constantly playing,
Right.
right? Because I mean,
Also,
it's
most of these
gonna
peop-
have a
Most of these people have it for PlayStation, and I'm just not gonna do it. I
oh,
don't.
see, I wouldn't care. I mean, obviously, but
It's a moral thing, John.
yeah, no, I get. Well, my biggest issue with
It-
PlayStation is if I'm playing late at night and I want to talk to people, which is how I want to play this game.
Yeah.
My PlayStation's in the bedroom where my wife would be sleeping.
It's
So-
it's a personal vendetta with Sony that I refuse to purchase this game for the PlayStation 4. But I would like to. John went from one mug immediately to the other mug.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me address this real quick because you pointed this out multiple times. That last sip of coffee is always super bitter.
Yes.
So
That's why
I
when I get
wash
to the
it-
bottom of that's when I get to the bottom of coffee, I usually just pitch it.
no, I drink it because I'm a man. But then I follow it with a drink of water to kind of wash the bitterness down.
Yeah, I hate the last sip. The last sip of almost everything is bad.
You know, so this is
Can
completely
we-
derailing, but
I'm gonna derail for something too, but don't let me forget.
so when I bought this coffee, right, on the side of the box it says, "Hey, make it like this. Put in 1 ounce of milk and then put the coffee on top of it," right? Because I don't usually put milk or anything in my coffee. I just drink it black. And so I started doing this a couple of times just with this one specific flavor. And by flavor, it's not flavored coffee. It's just a certain, I don't know, whatever, right?
Yeah, it's coffee. But
Yeah, but
sure.
and it comes in pods because I have an espresso machine.
Mhm.
And so I did this, and the first time I did it, or maybe the second time I did it, like I'm drinking it, and the last few sips were kind of cold. I'm like, well, maybe I just let it sit there for too long. Well, the last time I did it, I'm drinking this, and I realized that the coffee above was hot, and somehow it puts this barrier between the coffee and the cold milk. Like they just didn't mix at all, or
Weird.
barely did. So I drank hot coffee directly followed by like a slug of cold milk.
Gross.
It was bizarre.
That's weird too. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so Overwatch.
Oh yeah, Overwatch. Hold on though. When we're talking about the last sip of things,
Oh
do you
god.
save the last bite of food on your plate to be like the best taste of all the food?
No.
Do you do that? No. All right, I do that. Hi, everybody.
Well, but it could also for me, right? When I'm eating, like let's say a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will eat the burger or the main thing or whatever else, and then if there's like anything potato related, fries or any of that stuff, I always leave that, like at least some of that for last, because it's kind of like my light munchie to keep me physically doing something while I'm hanging out.
Oh,
right?
see, if the burger's really good, right? We're just gonna use burger and fries as an example, right? I will save the last bite of that burger to be the last thing I taste.
To some extent I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Right, because you want to end it on something amazing.
Like the way that I would have liked to end Overwatch on a victory, not a defeat.
Yeah, and take a big bite of that Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. So, okay. Here's my issue. Here's my issue with Overwatch. Is if I'm not playing with friends, I'm not having a good time.
I had a good time doing the tutorial. What scares me is after playing with friends and playing it more, will I not care about playing extra stuff to unlock and level up on my own? Like, will that urge go away the same way that Splatoon 2, right? I played the crap out of Splatoon 1. Like over 180 hours into Splatoon 1.
Well, yeah, and you were super stoked for Splatoon 2.
Yeah, but then once I got it, I missed that first night, which I still think burned me a little bit, right? And then I proceeded to not care because it's so similar to the original that I don't care unless I'm playing with friends.
And I get that, and that's when I normally go back to it. But that's still a game because it's 3-minute matches. That's still a game that's like I just need something to do. I'm a fidgety person, right?
Yeah. No, but Overwatch is kind of like that too. Like the matches are pretty quick, most of them, unless you're in one of those ones where there's rounds, which are kind of annoying. Right. But like the capture the area or even the escort missions, like they're not long.
They could be 20 minutes long, easy. Depending on how good or bad you do.
They feel short.
But like Splatoon, you can just hop in and I never feel like I get frustrated sometimes if there's a sniper that's just taking me out. Like last night there was this Womwoo dude or something like that. Wim Wom, I don't remember what his name was. Something along those lines, who was just sniping me and just pissing me off. Right?
Right.
And he was also getting almost no points and also pissing me off when he's on my team. But I never feel that frustrated, even if I keep dying, because I just run around and paint the ground, having a good time, and it's kind of like a relaxing pickup thing.
No,
with Overwatch,
right, there is something infuriating about Overwatch, like running into the battle, getting killed, then running back to the battle, then getting killed, then running back to the battle and getting killed, like over and over and over. Like,
yeah,
when you're not doing well, your team's not doing well, and you're just getting obliterated. Like there is a level of frustration that I think I would feel more if I wasn't playing with my friends.
Thank you, Andy. His name was Widwow.
Widwow.
Yeah, no, I agree. And see, this is what I like about Battlefield, right? So I would not have bought Battlefield 1. I'd played it whenever Ben bought it or whatever, but I have it now through EA Access, and I'll jump in every once in a while. And what's nice is, one, you never start in the middle of the battle. Right. But you could also spawn in areas that put you not that far away. And as you're running to the battle, there's things you can do. Like there's people you can fight if you want to go after them. Right. To the different battle areas. Whereas with Overwatch, like sometimes you die and you can walk out the door and there's the next thing you're doing. Like, especially if you're defending something, it's always moving towards you. But if you're like on the offensive, you die and it could take forever to get there.
Yeah.
And now if I'm playing with friends and we're talking, and you can have like light conversation and stuff while you're playing that, like it's not such a serious game that you can't do that. But when you're doing that, it works well because that just the conversation kind of takes up that time and makes it like not a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm really conflicted after playing it. Like I really want it, but I also don't. So like I feel like I even after playing it, I'm at the same place where like if it was ever $25, it would
Yes.
just be an impulse buy.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm at the same point with it as I am with like Forza Horizon 3, right? Because
That's a mistake.
well, because I did not jump on when everyone else that I know was playing it, I'm not going to be finding my friends out there playing the game, or without having to actually set it up and then hope that my schedule matches their schedule, right?
Okay.
And I don't want to play Forza by myself, right? I'm sure it's a great game, but I have so much other stuff to play by myself to get through that I don't need that to play by myself.
Right.
Same thing with Overwatch. Now, when Forza Horizon 4 comes out, in theory, in a year or whatever, if you guys are jumping on that right away,
That's not even going to be a question. Whenever that thing comes out, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I will jump on that right away with you guys.
Even if it were Xbox One X exclusive.
Yeah, well, it's not.
I would,
but
I would buy it.
But like, if or whenever Sea of Thieves comes out, I'm jumping on it day one because I can get in on it on the ground floor with my friends. And it's not these other games that people aren't playing them, or there's not a way to play single player, but there's not a. I want to be able to play with my friends and hang out with people and have the conversations and chill out and whatever while playing. And I've just missed that on some of these other games. So I'm not willing to pay the higher price for something like that I've missed.
Right. Get it. Totally get it.
So
Overwatch.
God, I can't wait till
Cool.
I can't wait till Sea of Thieves. Did you see Gary Gray talking about playing Sea of Thieves on Twitter?
No. Did he play it?
Yeah, he at something in England, I believe. Him
EGX.
Yeah,
Probably.
so him, Paul Lloyd, and Justin Masson were all there together. Like, there's pictures of them all hanging out together.
Yeah, jelly.
Yeah, I know.
Totally
don't,
jelly.
no. You can say jealous, but the word jelly in that context is banned from the show. That is one of, and I know I'm putting this out there, and people are going to spam it at me or something because I'm saying this now.
Words banned by Johnny Casino.
Like, that is one of my pet peeves. Is like that word. I can't stand
jelly.
I can't stand YOLO. Right? Like any of these things, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Everybody.
I know. I just opened myself up for massive attack.
You've opened up a door.
I have. But
I say it knowing it's awful, John. That's fine. But if you could just embrace the world.
So
are you salty, John?
Always salty. But yeah, Gary said that Sea of Thieves was great in the communication and all that stuff. And he said specifically for me, there are buckets that I can bucket stuff out with, and there's also an accordion. So when we're just sailing along, I'll be the guy playing the accordion in the corner.
Oh my god, I can't wait. This is
Wouldn't
gonna
that
be
be
so
awesome?
great. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm a salty seaman. Funny story, like that
seaman is salty.
Well, that's the joke he was making, right? But in the Navy, like if you are someone who's been in for a while, you're considered salty because the salt water, you've been in for a while. So in theory, I guess you'd be higher ranked than a seaman at that moment. But anyway, yeah, I cannot wait for Sea of Thieves. I'm just hoping there is stuff you can do when you're on by yourself.
Point of this entire conversation, Overwatch. Good game. Possibly gonna purchase it.
Yeah,
still.
I'll watch for sales.
But did not convert me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I played something very different. I mean, I also played that, obviously.
Yeah, well,
but
yeah.
I was planning on putting a lot of hours into the game that I was going to talk about today. And I did not. Like, I want to say my play clock.
That's how my life happens, John.
Yeah, I want to say my play clock's an hour, but the reality is it's probably like 2 or 3 hours. But it's just because of like, it doesn't matter what happens after the save. It's only like how many hours you're at that save point, right? So I was playing Metroid Prime 3.
Yeah.
I played this when it first came out, and I just did not have time to get into it. Like, that was one of the busiest times of my life. I was a recruiter. I was at work nonstop. I just didn't have time to play it. I picked it up recently for pretty cheap again, and I popped it in, and I was super excited. And visually, I think it's probably the best looking of the Prime games, which kind of makes sense because it's, you know, the newest of the Prime games. But also it's not quite so dark and gloomy, which makes it a little bit easier. It's weird though, because you start with most of your powers, and so you're only really finding upgrades. And when you very first start, you have everything. It's motion controls, right? So it's like you shoot by pointing at the screen with your Wii controller, with the Wiimote or whatever. But it's done in a way that I think actually works really well. Like, it's one of the few games that I actually really enjoy the motion controls for it, right? Like, and to do like the whip mechanic, which is something you find pretty early on, you lock onto it and you take the nunchuck part and you actually whip it forward and then pull back, right? You have to whip and then you have to nay, right?
No, but sure. You watch me whip, and watch me nay.
Timestamp. So that'll be the next one for whenever we do songs.
That's significantly better than me saying that NSYNC and Backstreet Boys are the bands I listen to.
So anyway, I so much love the concept and the stuff behind the Metroid things, but here's the issue that came in: is you go through and you find all these things and you're playing along, and then you hit a wall and cannot go any further because you can't figure out what to do. So finally, I had to look it up.
This is the problem I've had with every Metroid game I've ever played.
Well, and it's not as bad with the Prime games.
Yeah, but this is the problem I had with Prime when I played it, and I don't know which Prime game I played. It was not 3.
Okay.
But I ran into a wall, and I didn't know what to do, and I was younger than I am now, because that would have been in the past. That's how that works. But I was much
I'm so
younger
glad you pointed that out.
I was younger, and I probably sucked more at games than I do now. But still, like, the struggle was real, and I don't want that kind of like aimlessly wandering around, not sure what you're supposed to do kind of bullcrap. Like, it's not fun.
Well, and that's what happened is I got to a point where I knew I had to be in the right place, because you literally could not go backwards, and I couldn't do anything. And finally I had to look it up, and there's this literally a block on the side of the wall, and I kind of, Ori and the Blind Forest might be the best Metroid game. Ori and the Blind Forest is so good. But also with Ori and the Blind Forest, you don't hit a point where you can't figure out what to do next. You just go to you can't go any further, and then you turn around and take a different path, right? With this one, I could see that there was this area that I could go through in Morph Ball form, but I could not figure out how to get to it. And it turns out there's this little tiny spot on a rock with a crack in it, and you had to notice that and then blow it up and then go through. And and by the time I spent all this time, I just got frustrated, and honestly, all I wanted to do was get back and finish Resident Evil 7. Like, that's all I wanted to do. And so I ended up not playing as much. Like I said, I probably put 2 or more hours into it total, but only like an hour according to my game clock.
But then you hit the wall and you were like done.
Well, no, I hit the wall way earlier than the 2 hours. I spent like an hour just redoing stuff, trying to figure out what I missed. And so I just got to the point where I'm like, I just want to play Resident Evil 7. So I went back to that because, for the most part, like, don't get me wrong, there's a couple times in Resident Evil 7 where I pulled out the guide because I walked past something and didn't know it, and I didn't want to research the whole house trying to find the one thing I missed. But it's relatively linear, right? Like, know what you're trying to do. Oh, but man, don't get me wrong, I love it. I will buy Prime 4 if for no other reason than I own 1 through 3, and I just cannot not have a full set.
Right.
Because
you're a collector and you know it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But also, like, I realized that, or when the Super Nintendo Mini finally shows up at some point in the near future, I will go back and try again at Super Metroid, because I think I do like the 2D ones better now that I played Zero Mission. So I'll play it some more. I cannot wait for Ori and the Blind Forest 2, which is, like I said, a very Metroid type game, but not as frustrating.
Ori Whisper of the Wisps.
Yeah.
Question mark? Yeah, something
like that. Yeah, I cannot wait for that. That will be a day one purchase for me.
Okay.
So, but that's what I played.
I didn't play Ori.
Oh, it's so good, dude. I mean, I don't know. You might not like it because don't get me wrong. Like, there are sequences in it that are just hard and frustrating. There is a 45-second, and I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Like,
you talked about it. I remember.
Yeah, 45 seconds though that took me 2 hours to do.
Yeah.
So.
It's okay, John. Breathe.
Dave.
Yes, John.
Do you have a show you want to talk about?
No, why? Do you want to get out of here?
No. I do.
Oh, okay. I'm watching movies, John. I'm curious as to what your opinion of this is, though. But I know that you're not a huge Star Wars fan.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I'm not a Star Wars geek, if you will, like hardcore into Star Wars. But I am all about seeing each one every time, and I really watch them.
And you know the story, and you've seen all of them, including the prequels.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen them all. I like the video games. I have.
All right, so,
I can't tell you how many Star Wars video games.
So I found out she hadn't seen Star Wars. So
the
we
original?
have to watch all of them. She hasn't seen any of the Star Wars movies ever.
Oh,
so,
Jesus Christ!
So Episode 8 comes out in like 80 or 70 days now. Like we're approaching Episode 8.
Now answer. Okay, I had this very important question.
Yes.
What order are you playing them for her in?
Yeah, so
numerical or as they came out?
So I've had 1,000 debates and discussions about how to watch these, right?
There is only one right answer.
No, there's actually about 17 different answers.
Oh, no. There is one right answer.
I'm doing one that's very different.
Okay, what order are you going in?
So, and this is I want your opinion. I want the listeners' opinions too. But this is what we're doing.
Oh God, I'm going to disagree.
Episode 3. Start with Episode 3.
No.
Yes.
No. You cannot do that. Here's why. Now, granted, most big things in Star Wars are somewhat spoiled by now, right?
Yeah,
most big twists are spoiled.
That's why this doesn't matter. That's why we can change the order. She knows the spoilers.
But prime numbers first. You have to do it in the order it came out because for a couple of reasons. One, you got to get past the first 3. And as amazing as the first 3 are, and as important as the story in the first 3 are, they are by far the ones that are kind of the hardest to get through and potentially the most boring.
Oh God, no. Episode 1, 2, and 3 are the hardest to get through.
Hold on a second.
I don't know if I can watch 2 again. I don't think I can do it.
Okay, so here's my argument against that.
So you didn't even let me finish my order. But sure.
No, well, you screwed up with your first one.
Well, we're already done with 3, which is why I put it in my Xbox.
1, 2, and 3 are probably the worst of the movies. But Star Wars Prime is really good. Freaking Sean. But they have that lightness to them, the flashiness to them, the brighter colors. They are less boring, right? They are not good, but they are less boring. 4, 5, and 6 have a better story, but they have these parts of them that are super, super slow, dark, and dry, and they get like I have a hard time not falling asleep during parts of the original 3. Right?
Oh, I love the original 3.
But like there's the scenes in the swamp with Yoda, and you're just like, oh, for the love of God, just get on with it. Because it's as important as it is.
I think it's better the first time, those scenes though.
Maybe.
Like the first time you've seen them, they're not as bad and drawn out as you think they are now.
Maybe. But also but also like I don't know, man. Like I just.
All right, so would you like me to finish the order that I've decided? No.
You already screwed it up.
Well, I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
Because all the spoilers are out there.
Yeah, but still.
And I think this is the way that it will be. easy to sink in. So it did episode 3, which sets up Anakin and Darth Vader.
Okay.
Then Rogue One, because it's new and flashy, and also leads right into episode 4. What, John? What?
Here's what's
I'm actually glad you're more upset about this than I thought you would be.
Here is what ruins that for me.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so everyone knows the whole Luke, I'm your father thing. Right? Like, even if you've never seen one, you've heard that line, you understand the reference.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yes, it's not a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
But what's cool to see all that and be like, how did he get to where he is? Right? And
right.
And then, like, after you see how, then it goes back. Like, this is the one time where I actually think doing things in this bizarre order that George Lucas did actually works out well. Right? Because then you can, like, be like, okay, I know where he's going, but how did he get there? How? Right? And to go with start, I mean, even if you wanted to start not with the original 3 and start with the prequels. Starting with 3, which, by the way, hands down the worst of the prequels.
Oh, no. 2 is the worst.
Dude, no. 2 actually had some good fight scenes and had, like, the Clone Wars and all that stuff in it.
You're mixing this up. 2 is weird trials about clones and awful, like.
I was way more entertained. Here's my and here's the other thing, right? Hayden Christensen, right? That's who does Anakin. That's who plays Anakin.
Yeah.
Right.
He does Anakin. Didn't you know? He does him.
God damn it!
All right, ready.
One of the worst actors in all of acting ever. Like, Anakin is terrible. Like, Hayden Christensen is bad. There's a movie he did called Life is a House.
Life is a House.
Yeah. Or Life as a House or Life is a House. I don't remember. Watch it.
Both sound awful.
You know, it's a really good movie. I mean, the whole thing is like about a kid who's growing up and spending time with his dad, and they are I think they're rebuilding a house or building a house, and it kind of It's based around that. It's a good movie, except for Hayden Christensen still sucks.
Okay, John, can I finish my order?
No. Hold on a second. The point being that when you like, and it's my same problem I have with you doing Rogue One next. Like, I understand the theory of playing them out in the order that they happen, but there's something about knowing that you're going to go back and find out how it played out, how it worked out. Not knowing, oh, this is the outcome. How did it get there? And that excitement of like, how could it possibly have gotten to that situation? And there's something about that excitement that I think you lose if you play it out in that order.
I haven't played Rogue One yet. Would you like me to play 4 then Rogue One?
No, I would like you to start with 3 or 4, 5, and 6.
Then
1, 2, 3.
No, not going back to 1 and 2 yet. I think, and this
you can't end with 1 and 2. You're gonna leave a shitty taste in our mouth.
No, because then we're gonna go into episode 8.
Wait, you're saying you're playing 3, Rogue One,
4, 5,
8?
6, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1, 2. Maybe not even watching 1 and 2 before we go to 8.
Your order makes no sense.
Here, you calm down, John. I'm telling the good version of the Star Wars story.
No, because
throwing away all the garbage, which is the pod racing in episode 1 and goddamn Clone Wars that don't matter in episode 2.
Okay, but you have to. Okay, you have 2 options when you're playing Star Wars, right?
Play them in order from episode 1. Boring. Episode 2, you'll quit. And you'll never watch another Star Wars movie ever again.
No, because at this point you're forcing her to. Right? I mean, you have her tied down, I assume.
I mean, no. Not into that, John.
No, you either need to play them in the order in which they came out.
Okay.
Or
what about the crazy order where you stop it after like the Tarkin scene? and in episode 5, and then go back to 1, 2, and 3, and then go back to the Tarkin scene, and then go to like, what about all that crazy nonsense?
No. That's almost as insane as trying to watch through the cartoon. Because if you watch through the cartoon
cartoon doesn't go in order.
No, it doesn't. And I actually put that. I was watching a bunch for a while. I actually had to write it down on a piece of paper, the order to watch it to make the story make sense. And I was going through and watching it in that order,
which is absurd.
Yeah, oh no, it is. It's completely absurd, right? But here's the thing: is like you either need to do it in the order of which it came out, or you need to do it in the order in which it actually happens.
Okay, so what happens if we throw Rogue One into the mix?
What do you mean?
So if you're gonna do it in order of which the story happens, 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, but I'm still not big on that order, and the reason is because there's that cool factor of how did this happen? And if you watch it as it happens, even if the spoilers already happened, like even if you already know the spoiler, like it takes away from that. Like that scene of Luke, I'm your father, even if you know what's happening, still will be more impactful if you have not seen him be his father.
Okay.
And then the way you're doing it, is what I think actually happened, is that you put them all in a hat and you started drawing them out.
No. We're playing them almost in order in which they happened minus 1 and 2.
So are you just not playing 1 and 2 at all?
No, I'll go back to them later. For that, how did it get to this point? So
hold on a second. Hold on.
To keep your how did we get to this point factor?
Okay, hold on a second.
So we're introducing Darth Vader.
Hold on one quick second, because I don't want something to make it where I can't read this. Sean puts out there that the reason the prequels were a disappointment is because the buildup of what happened set your expectations too high. I disagree. I think the reason that they suck so bad
are bad because they're told poorly.
Well,
they've got beautiful, well done action sequences, way better than anything that happened in the original 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, by far,
look way better and hold up way better to what the fantasy version of Star Wars is. The story, the way that the story is written, which is not a bad concept. Like the description of episode 2 is maybe the most fascinating science fiction piece of literature of all time. But when executed by George Lucas into that form with his poor writing of characters, that is what makes those prequels bad.
But see, I don't even think it was really like it was okay. So as I've stated, I know it's not the most popular opinion in the world, but the original 3, as good as they were, had long stretches of boring parts. So I could not get a kid right now to sit down and watch those, most likely, because they will just get bored and walk away. All right.
And there's not even half the amount of flashiness and things.
Yeah.
It's awkward and awful.
But you can put a kid in front of the first 3 and they would sit there and just watch it through because more so than the original 3.
What year did episode 1 come out in?
2099, I believe.
99, which means my brother was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. They took him to episode 1. I didn't go. I had no care about this when I was 8. And he went. They came home about 30-45 minutes later. He was so bored.
Okay, but I'm talking like.
And my dad, who loves Star Wars, is the one who took him, and he was so bored that he left.
So, but see, I don't think the issue is the boredom factor in the prequels, right? The issue is that they tried to make it more entertaining, and what they did was make it more stupid.
I think they made it.
With adding Jar Jar, who was not in the original story, like Jar Jar was not a thing. They just put him in to be comic relief.
I've considered cutting him out. I've considered editing him out of the movie.
Well, yeah,
to rewatch this with her. Anyway,
But
I didn't realize how passionate you were about this, John.
But see, here's the thing, and this is why I think episode 7 did it so well, is because that was finally a good balance between what was entertaining from the prequels, like the way it was prettier, a little more stuff going on, a little bit lighter, and then the good storytelling from the original 3, and they were able to find a decent balance in episode 7.
Yeah, despite the fact that 7 is basically A New Hope.
Sure,
right?
sure.
We can argue that all day. It is a way more fun, like it is just fun all the way through.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why it's so good.
But to see, but you still, I honestly believe that if you do not watch them, like, you can ditch episode 1, you can ditch episode 2. I can fully say that you can,
and then we're watching them in the order they happened.
But I mean, I'm still not a huge fan of that. But
okay,
I can understand that argument.
Okay, well, that's what I'm doing.
But make sure you.
What I wanted to do before going back to episode 1 and 2, which I think 1 is okay. I just think it doesn't matter for the overarching story.
No, it doesn't.
But when we get to 2, I want her to already be invested. If that makes sense, right?
Well, here's what you need to do.
To already care. Because the point is, if you were to start with 2, right, where the story actually starts picking up and has importance, like, you would turn that off and be like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get the reason, which is why I think throwing Rogue One into the mix, despite being maybe a generic war movie, I think because it's modern and has the fun colors and it's set in that universe, it will draw the story in a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know.
It'll set the expectation for why episode 8 is going to be so important.
I don't know, man.
All right. I clearly got you on a bigger conversation than I thought this would be a conversation I have with Jeff. I'm kind of happy we got to do this.
Yeah. I'm sorry you were so wrong.
John, you always think I'm wrong. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's life. So
We're not really friends anymore.
I was going to talk about one show, but I think I'm going to talk about the other one. So I binge watched the whole season of something recently with my wife. Actually, a couple of things. Just to mention them. One, which I kind of mentioned on Monday, is Big Bang Theory season 10, which is the latest one on DVD. We binge watched that because the new season was starting. For those who have liked it in the early days, but kind of drifted off in the later seasons, I think it's back to good. Right?
All right.
Season 10, I really enjoyed. It's still missing some of the things that made the original seasons good, like because Sheldon has grown up in a way, it's not as good.
But
I don't think.
Do I need to watch everything previous at all? Does it matter?
No, I mean, it's a show you can jump around in, but you won't understand certain things that are to the overall story. Like the
Do I have to watch this on DVD?
Yeah, I think it's the only place it's out right now.
Oh, Jesus.
And
okay.
I mean, I own them all, but yeah, it's because CBS does not put things out as often.
I'm aware.
So the other thing that I've been binging, real briefly, is my wife is trying to catch up on Silicon Valley. If you do not watch Silicon Valley, oh my God, it's such a great show. There's 4 seasons out right now. They're only 10 episodes long, half hour. It's HBO. You have to have HBO to watch it, but oh my God, it's so good. But here's a show I really want to talk about. And I was going to wait till next week because I wanted to finish it because season 4 just came out. And I'm like halfway through season 3. I wanted to finish it and talk about it next week, but there's some importance here. I've been watching, oh my God, what is it called? I just lost the name of the show. It's got a weird name, and that's why. Hold on.
This happened to me last night on my show that I was guesting on.
Hold on.
I remember the name of the show. It was called Code Lyoko. Hi, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
Okay, so hold on a second. So Andy is saying, really, I watched the first episode and didn't care for it. What show are you referring to so I can tell you why you might be wrong? So
Big Bang Theory?
See, I don't know if he's doing that or if he's watching Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley is so good.
No, it's brilliant. It's
so good.
If you didn't get the first, don't give up.
Yeah, definitely don't give up.
Please just watch it. And if you're into that, maybe you got to kind of be like a tech kind of like.
Even not though.
I know, like I think there's some. I think as a person who doesn't care, it might be harder to enjoy. But I think if you were to sit a little bit longer and enjoy it, I think you would love that show.
Yeah, it is. So
I think
good.
if you were to just embrace the story, that's not the Pied Piper or whatever the heck we're talking about. Like if you were to just start looking at the characters, you'd start enjoying it.
Yeah. So the show I actually watched that I was going to wait till next week when I finish it. So I have no idea. I might not have a show next week because I have to finish this one.
Okay.
Is Transparent. So it's a Amazon Prime original.
Good thing I can just look right through this conversation. Joke's not approved by Johnny Casino.
So the basis behind Transparent is it's Jeffrey Tambor, maybe is the guy's name. He was the dad on Arrested Development, like the dad that goes to jail in Arrested Development. He's done a number of other things as well. But he is divorced, and he decides that he's going to turn into a woman. And so the show is about his transformation, still liking women, but wanting to turn into a woman. It gives backstory to like how his ex-wife knew about this. It goes into his relationship with his ex-wife and all this stuff. The show is one of the most sexual shows I've ever seen in my life. And I did not realize that going into it. There is a lot, like it's either a lot of sex going on or a lot of sexuality, right? Because there's his kids and his kids' lives are a huge part of this. And like Judaism is an oddly huge side part of this. Like they don't dive into it, but it plays a big role in a lot of what they do. Here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to make sure I really brought this up. So first of all, like it's a comedy-ish. It is super dramatic.
Sounds like a porno.
It's not. But a lot of people are turning lesbian and then not, and it's weird. It's all about like self-sexual discovery is really what the show is kind of about.
John, are you all right?
Not mine. The characters on the show.
Do we gotta have a talk after the show? I mean, it's okay. I grew up in Lakewood, Ohio, like one of the most like fourth most populated gay area in the world, John.
So okay, hold on a second. But not just that. Like even the people who are not gay in the show are trying to determine if they are or aren't.
Okay, so everybody's curious.
No, everyone's just discovering things about themselves, and it's so interesting, and it's so, I don't know. It's just this weird, like it's a show that's either going to draw you in, and you're going to just have to know what happens next, or it's going to completely lose you, and you're just not going to care. But this
is on Netflix.
No, it's an Amazon Prime show.
Oh, it's a Prime show.
Yeah, okay. But here's what I wanted to make sure I talked to you specifically about.
Oh gosh.
So we talked about BoJack, right?
Uh-huh.
And how this last season you
enjoyed
loved,
and it bored you to tears.
I don't want to say it bored me to tears. And don't get me wrong, like I'm still glad I watched it. I can't wait for the next season. I just was not as big on that one as the other ones. But you talked about how much you liked the backstory stuff, right? Yeah. And I thought it was done okay. But season 2 of Transparent, a good chunk of that is about their backstory, about them coming from Germany.
Okay.
And as a Jewish family coming from Germany. And oh my God, it is so well done. Like edge of the seat, gripping, like, and it talks about like basically, a relative of theirs that was transgendered, right? Because that's the whole thing, is being trans. And them coming over like right before the war kind of was starting, right before like when the Nazis were first really starting to move in and take people away and stuff. And it is just like that backstory was so gripping and the way it was done. Like I want you to watch it almost just to see all the backstory stuff, to see what you think.
All right.
But I don't know this would be a show for you. I think
it
everyone should.
It doesn't sound like a show for me, but
I think people should give it a try because it's not for everyone, but it is so well done that it was, I don't know. It's just so well done. Like I have to finish it now. Like I have to, but I need something happier in my life than this is because this isn't exactly the happiest show.
I'm gonna binge Fuller House this week.
Oh my God. Are you going to gouge your eyes out first or second?
No, right after I watch Star Wars episodes 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1 and 2.
God, Fuller House is so bad. Like it's so the original show, and the original show was so good at the time. Does not hold up now.
That's why I need more episodes of it. Can they just remake the old show? No.
They couldn't even get the Olsen twins in the new one.
No, they can't.
Apparently. Okay, you watched the first season of Fuller House, right?
Yeah, I still think that's one of the funniest moments in television ever.
Whenever they called out the Olsen twins not being there, oh my God, that was the only good thing. And I watched like 4 or 5 episodes because I kept wanting to give it a chance. That was one of the only good things about that show was when they called out the Olsen twins not being there and being too busy.
And they'll keep doing it.
Oh my God. All right, Dave.
They're jerks for not showing up. Like that's straight up.
All right.
That's like you and me canceling this show, John, and being like 5 years later from now, Sean Capri and Bobby Paul's running the Day Space Podcast Network, and I'm dead or something almost, right? And you're like, we're gonna do a Forget Being Cool, but I'm gonna do it with Sean, but you're invited, right? And I'm like, no, like that's what it's like. That's not a thing. I would show up.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you're also not filthy rich and running an empire. Like those girls are running an empire. You realize this, right?
Yes, but they did not need to sign a 12-episode contract. They could have made one goddamn appearance.
No, you're right.
It means one day.
Or just one of them had to, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Only one of them had to fly out, show up for 5 seconds, and leave.
Yeah.
They could have just, it's just do the right thing. That's what it's about. That or just get what's her face who plays Scarlet Witch, the other Olsen sister. Just have her come play Michelle, because nobody would know.
I think she's probably now the more liked Olsen sister.
I would agree. And nobody would care. We'd actually probably think it's funny.
All right, Dave, let's start getting out of here.
Okay, I was waiting for the music, John. I was just stalling you to get your...
Oh, no, I was ready. I just didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, I mean, I had nothing to say. I was just stalling.
Well, that's most of the show.
I mean, we could have called this show Just Stalling, which also could have been a good name for
we could have done it in Russian. It could have been Just Stalin.
Nobody go to forgetbeingcool.com or rate this show on iTunes because after that comment, they don't like us anymore, John. But if you did still like us after John makes comments that are not approved by Dave Moore, you could go over to forgetbeingcool.com, which supports this show, like supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/dayspace, where you can also get all our links over at forgetbeingcool.com for our Twitters, etc. More episodes of this show. If you enjoyed it, it's available on iTunes and the Google Play Music Store, because that's what they call it, even though it's for podcasts, because they don't understand how to label store names. Dave Moore, that's Johnny Casino, and we'll see you guys on Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Dayspace YouTube channel. Don't forget to listen to... Whoa, Sean.
Well, I realized my mistake because this was supposed to follow it.
Yes, you had your own commentary. You've been narrated by Dayspace. Dayspace. Dayspace.
Oh, John, where did you... Oh, I don't even... No, turn it off. Oh, my God.